Sir, we're approaching a podcast. It's part of the Legion Academy collective called Dice Time.
That's it. Bob Swaim and Ben Jetron are there.
My lord, there are several Star Wars Legion podcasts. It could be any number.
That is the one. Admiral, set your course for Dice Time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dice Time. I'm Bob Swaim.
And I'm Ben Jetron.
And we are in the party bus. What's that smell I smell?
I tried to put an air freshener in here, but there's some rank something that is one of these vents. I haven't figured out where yet. So
you know what kind of air freshener? You need an air freshener that smells like Wookiees, because that's what belongs in this thing. Wookiees. This is like the party bus. They're gonna have a blast in here.
I agree.
Move up that just a little bit. They're all gonna bang heads. They're all gonna bang their heads on it, and while banging your head is a good thing. I don't think the off Wookiees are going to be really someplace and drop them off out the door.
Right.
So we need to work. Hope everybody's doing having a good one out there. We're going to be talking tonight about the tournament that we had over at Atomic. We had six or eight people. We decided to do a little bit different. Ben's going to talk about Yavin Base. We're going to do a little Gen Con update. We're going to talk about some alt art cards that you can get from us at some secret locations, Gen Con. And we're probably going to end up with some units that really need an update. My favorite character is highly contested that a fix. He needs a downgrade with a lot of costs added to him because he's just that damn good. So does that sound about right, Ben?
That sounds right. Let's get into it. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on this AA5 for the first part of this. So why don't you just spin us into the last tournament, and then we'll get into it.
I'll throw a screwdriver at you when it's time to talk about that Yavin base thing.
Okay,
cool. All right, so we're gonna start it. Last tournament. We're all at Atomic. There's 6 or 8 of us there. I can't remember. And I decide it's Paul Watson's birthday, and well, of course we didn't get him anything because we just don't do that. He brought his own cake.
Because we don't take care of our players.
No, we don't take care of our players at all, because then we have to take care of all of them. No, just kidding. But he decided he was going to bring a cake, which was cool. Thanks, Paul. We appreciate cake. We love cake. We're all diabetic, but thanks anyway.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul. Late. But we decided we're just going to play for fun. Paul and I have known each other for forever, since this game started, and I think we've maybe played once. He thinks we've never played. So I made sure I got a game in with him, and we did really good. We had a lot of fun. He was running his Wookiee bus and some other stuff with an R2 unit that was very hard to kill. And we had a good time. We got to roll some dice. We got to talk. It was a really good game. I may have came close to beating him, but he had me pretty good on points. We were playing Breakthrough, and I forget what map we were playing on, but it was a good time. We got to sit and talk and actually roll dice together, which we haven't done in a very long time. And it was really nice because we play not competitive, but a little bit competitive. And usually it's a tournament, so we go through and whoever's top 2 go at it, and it goes down from there. We just decided to pick and play. We didn't really keep score. We weren't going to give out prizes. We were just there to have a good time.
Yep.
And we did. We had some good players and some bad players. No, just kidding. There's no such thing as a bad player. But everybody seemed to really enjoy the difference of being able to not have to worry about winning stuff, because there really weren't anything to win. Slade comes in. That's the owner of the store. Go to Atomic Comics. We got everything there. He's got a lot of stuff in stock. He comes in, looks around, and says, "This is cool." And I told him what we did. And he said, "That's amazingly fun." He went and got a handful of the red dice that we hand out, because everybody loves red dice, and passed them out to everybody who played. And that was the only prize we gave out. We didn't charge anything to play this time. Usually we charge a little bit, but free air conditioning, free cake, which was awesome, and free fun. So it was a really nice get together to where there wasn't a lot of rules calls. It wasn't anything. Everybody just decided at their own table what was going on. I ended up playing Ben. I was really tired. I've got a really bad foot. And they're going to operate it on it soon. And after playing Paul, I'd been up and running around the table so bad I was so tired that I really didn't give Ben a really good game. So we're going to have a rematch.
Dude, that was my best game that I had all day.
That was the best game.
That was the best game I had all day, because You were saying there's no such thing as a bad player. That was some of the worst Legion I have given anyone in a while.
I felt really bad.
I was so off my game. I felt terrible like the entire. I was like, wow, I'm playing like such an idiot. I have no idea. Like my second round game was over at the end of like round 2. And I was like, wow, I'm legitimately embarrassed with how poorly I just played.
Not to interrupt you, but you got a small fire back there on that couch. You want to put that out?
Oh gosh. All right. Oh, hang on. Okay. Continue.
So I played Ben, and I really didn't give him a good game. I was so tired. My foot was killing me. I didn't have my boot on. I have a boot that I wear that keeps it all where it's supposed to be, but it was hot and it was sweaty, and I just did not want to wear the stupid thing. So he didn't get the game that he deserved. So we're gonna have a rematch, and I'll make sure I play him first and somebody else later, so he gets me while I'm still awake. But we had a good time. Everybody had a good time, and that's basically what we did that week. We're going back. I know Slade's got something up his sleeve for for next month on the 17th of July. He's going to be running some sort of big tournament, and we'll have some details out on the website.
Yeah, so you should, by the time this episode goes up, you should have about 2 weeks of prep time.
Yeah.
To get ready for that.
We're going to have a special judge for that, so that's going to be cool because I will be out. I got this blaster wound on my foot, and it's got to be taken care of, so I'm going to be out. I will have had surgery the day before that tournament, so we have a guy going to run it for us who will do a good job, and everybody come play. It'll be a good time. We're going to have special prizes. I can't tell you right now what they are because I honestly don't know, but I'm going to sit down with the store owner, and we're going to put a pretty good package together on getting some stuff out there. So because we appreciate our players. You guys are awesome. You came out. And
come bring your best. Don't do what I did last time. Bring your worst.
Yeah. Don't be a Ben. Just don't be a Ben.
Don't be like me.
A fire put out, and you got that ball raised up there to where I don't think the Wookiees are going to bash their heads.
Yep.
You got to get some air fresheners in here because those guys they got that smell to them, which is a good thing. But we don't want to start out smelling like Wookiee.
True.
They're going to pay us to transport them to that party they kept talking about, right?
I would think so. I mean, I certainly would hope so. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little afraid if they didn't plan on paying, how they're gonna take it. I don't want to be on the bad side of those Wookiees.
I don't either. But I think we'll get them there on time and get them back in the back lines, and they can go out and smash some Imperials or some CIS or. I don't think they want to beat up on the Republic because from what I've seen from the previews this week, I think they're going to really like the Republic.
Yeah, we've got some cool teases into the Republic, the Wookiee Warrior expansion coming out. Those look awesome.
Those look awesome. Yoda looks awesome. I love that they're putting Chewbacca out as a commander for Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Rex needs some help. I guess he's too good because everybody doesn't like him anymore because he's too powerful.
Speaking of Rex being too powerful, let's talk about Yavin-based Team League.
Go ahead and do it. I'm going to go back there. I'm trying to get a rack put together so those Wookiees can store their weapons. Because I imagine it's going to be a bumpy ride getting into there, and we're going to get shot at, and I don't want their knives and crap all over the place, like cutting into the furniture. So you take this, and I'm going to go back and clean.
All right, cool. So as Team Lackluster continues, I believe last time we had gotten through round 2, last show that we had posted. So 2 more rounds have happened since then. So we did our round 3. I'm gonna try to keep these a little more briefer because we got a fuller show, but we played our round 3 team, and we had a grand old time. It was a nice casual, but also very, very close set of matches that we had with our opponents. So we played the nameless Yavin-based Team League team, and that's not because I'm forgetting their name. It's because that's just their name. They are nameless. So as we faced off against the nameless Yavin-based Team League, we all got paired up. I got put back on the vertical map like I was in round 1, and my opponent was, I believe, just pronounced Pole March. We had an awesome game. It was a lot of fun. I started to pull some of the shenanigans that got pulled against Joe in round 2. When because I played on Jakku in round 2, but Joe played on the vertical map on Coruscant, and he did not have a dice time playing against his opponent, and because his opponent had found a really nice spot to house an FD dish turret, and so so he was like, just as a fun test, Ben, will you try this out next round and just see like how it does for you? And I was like, okay, sure. So I put the FD turret on my Coruscant list, got the bid, put it on the side that the guy had it on, and let me tell you, that is a really, really good spot for an FD dish turret. I played against another Maul triple stap. I think it was Maul CAD, and that was a really cool list. I really liked his list, and it had a lot of fun interactions and stuff with mine. I ended up putting the FD in a certain spot, like I said, and Maul was creeping up the board, was coming up on me, and I was a little afraid he was going to hit my line hard. And well, my plan at the end of round 2, start of round 3, was I wanted to last first with the FD dish to try and suppress Maul. So I have an aimed shot into heavy cover at the end of round 2 for Maul and do a couple wounds, and I have a barrage generator to do the extra suppression. And then start of round 3 comes, I do another aimed shot at him to do more suppression, and Maul actually just died. So it was a better result than just suppressing him. And the staps and everything came around, and they took out my R2 that I had, and it was we played Intercept the Transmissions, and it was so close. This was like the closest game I've played so far in Team League, I think, because it came down to like the final couple dice rolls if I was going to have enough bodies that were going to make it to hold on to my back objective, and who all was going to still make it on the middle. So it was really close game, and I had a dice time with Full March. It was fun. So that being said, we went 5-0 in that round, so we actually advanced to the top of our little group pod. So we assumed we were going to finish second, but we actually ended up wildly pulling first somehow. So we finished top of our pod and went and got to go to single limbs. The top 2 pods get to go to the top 2 teams in each pod get to go to single eliminations. So we were going to make it, but we definitely made it.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. So we did the first round of single elims as well, and we played against our good buddies over on the next continent over in Europa. The French team. I'm gonna butcher the crap out of this. Fun et Victoria. Wow. I don't even know how to tackle that one. So.
Did you break your tongue on that, or what?
Yeah, I did, actually. I'm going to have to fix that. If you look at the top 12 teams, it starts with fun. That's what I got for you. It's a 3-word team name, and it starts with fun. And I can't pronounce it because I'm not sophisticated enough or bilingual. I only speak mediocre Spanish and terrible English. So we played them. I played... Now I'm going to butcher this name as well. Rafanduril, something like that. I'm so sorry I butchered both your team name and your name. But we had an awesome game as well on the Coruscant map where I got placed again, and we played Rebel versus Rebel for my first time in Team League, and we had to square off with each of us had a Sabine. He also had Cassian and Lando, and then I had Sabine, Mandos, I had Jin as well. So it was a really interesting face-off we were having. He also had some fleet troopers, which I appreciated. Love to see them. And we played the game of all boxes. So we played Battle Lines. It was Battle Lines, Recover the Supplies, and Supply Drop.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm so glad that you picked this. Not for any statistical advantage or anything, but I have so wanted to play all boxes game, and nobody will ever do it with me. So now we're about to have fun. So boxes got dropped all over Coruscant, and we ran around and picked them all up. I deployed Jin straight on that middle objective and infiltrated her there because just got to do it. And I tried to do a better job keeping her alive with her 2-pip, because I actually played her 2-pip that time. What's it called now? The Trust Goes Both Ways.
I gotta say, Ladies Night, you should know this, Mr. Ladies
Well,
Night.
I don't play that card in Ladies Night, so I don't, like, the only Jin card I usually play is Complete the Mission, and then the other two just get tossed. But since I didn't have Leia, I actually played, and based on how the list played out, I actually had I had Jin's 2-pip in there this time. So I played that turn 1, and I moved Sabine up and had her take a dodge, which gave Jin a dodge. I mean, I moved Jin first, of course. I claimed the objective and moved, but then my second activation is I moved Sabine up and then gave her a dodge, and she was the other order I handed out. So Sabine was able to dodge and then give a dodge to Jin. So she had a little bit of that. She also had duck and cover. So I mean, she, I think, survived round 1. She either made it just to the end of round 1, or no, I think she died before she was able to activate again, because she had a lot of suppression on her and then didn't get as far as I was hoping. There was a little ramp I was hoping to hide her under before she took too much fire, but I think she died before that. But anyway, Mando's ended up coming up, and his entire front line crashed along it was like a wave that crashed along my platform that I was on. And everyone was just yelling at everyone to hold the line, and it was a very, very well fought match between the two of us. I would love to have watched that again. It was a really great game, and it barely narrowed out, and I ended up scoring 3 boxes, so I ended up pulling the win there. But that was an awesome game. I'd love to play Orphanderil again. Great game, man. I loved playing you, and everyone was happy to play with you guys. It was a lot of fun. So we're gonna move on to round 2 of Single Limbs, where I won't say anything about what I'm about to do, because we're just gonna keep it low for right now. But I will say, if we win, we're now in the top 8, Bob. If we win this match, we're gonna go to top 4, which means we'll advance to the champion circle next season. So that'll be fun. But if we lose, then that'll be the end of our story. We'll stay in Hero League next season, which honestly we're okay with. So for me, I see it as an absolute win.
Yeah, you guys did really good. I was cool. I was happy that you got on a team and actually got to play. Hopefully, eventually, we're going to get good internet out at my house, and I'll be able to do some of that stuff too.
Yeah, that'd be great. We can have you. We'll welcome you into Team Lackluster for sure.
Exactly. So what do we want to do next? Oh, we on the way to drop those Wookiees off of, we ought to go look at Gen Con, see where it's going to be again this year, and just do kind of a flyby, to make sure everything still looks good. You were going to talk about maybe getting together with some of the Legion people and maybe throwing some games and sitting around talking about the stuff that you're doing, since there's not really any Legion going on there this year.
As an update, we did say that there was going to be an official, a somewhat official Legion event tournament that Bob was going to help put on, but since then that has fallen through a little bit. But I want to say Gen Con 2021 is September 16th through the 19th, and on that Friday, which should be the 17th, we're still planning on doing a get-together of some kind. We just need to find the table space. At every other year of Gen Con, there's always been tons of extra table space for people to play pickup games of whatever they want. I'm sure it won't be any problem unless they don't put out enough tables. I could see that happening.
Right.
Yes.
And,
but if they have the normal amount of tables up, it shouldn't be any problem for us to find extra space.
As far as I know, the guy I'm working for said that we could use some of his space if we couldn't find anything. So
yeah, there will definitely be space.
There'll be more about that later on. I'm hoping to make it. Like I said, they're gonna do some work on my foot. I'm hoping to be down there. I'll probably be in a wheelchair, so hopefully we'll be there. We'll get to meet and greet everybody, and got this cool thing that we've been doing. I do a little bit of artwork on the sides and stuff. You may have seen some of the Rex cards that we put out earlier this year and last year. They're kind of cool. You wanna tell them what we're doing this year, Ben?
Yeah, so we decided that we wanted to go full tilt and launch our own like Dice Time official cards because I loved that Rex card. I loved like having
Because
our
Rex
own
is
little
awesome.
Dice Time card that we could hand out at like events and stuff that we've been doing in Muncie, or I shipped one out with the Luke when the contest was won. I shipped out a Dice Time card as well, and I was like, you know what? I want more of these. I want to see like I would love it if there was an official like Dice Time card of like everybody. So I mean like it's gonna be a big work in progress, but we're just gonna pick and choose on like what we want to do first. So at Gen Con this year, we've got 4 unit cards that I've been working on with Photoshop. We have Bob's art that he's hand drawn and hand colored and everything, and then I'm going into Photoshop and building a card, actually building like an alternate like art card to actually do that. By the way, doing it from scratch, big undertaking. If you're not like super familiar with Photoshop and everything, like have fun. It's gonna be a nightmare.
And that's why I draw the art.
If you are familiar with Photoshop, have fun. It's still kind of a nightmare if you're doing it from scratch anyway.
Exactly. So, and I've got some artwork sitting around that I've wanted to get out there and share with the group and with everybody out there. So we've picked some good ones. We're going to do one from every faction.
Yep.
And
so we got
I think
4 cards,
2
one from
empires.
every faction.
Huh? Are we doing the second empire one?
Not yet. I don't know if it's going to be ready in time, so I'm not going to bank on it. I just want to advertise that there will be at least 1 card of every faction that someone can look forward to coming and getting. So
they're really cool.
As the straightforward, easiest one, the Republic, we're making a new version of Captain Rex.
It's because he's the best. Before he gets neutered, there we go.
Of course. Well, and also I just wanted to already update him and catch him up to what the new look is going to look like without visually seeing it. I think I'm about to go on Legion Academy's show. I might see if they can show a visual up of what they're going to look like. If not, I'll post these to the Facebook at some point soon so people can see them. But they're going to have the theme that I was basically going for was like basically dark mode or night mode like you would see on like a lot of websites and stuff, like when you usually have your bright white backgrounds and you're like, ugh, and you can go in the settings and turn it on dark mode and it makes it like a nice gray and white text and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's a lot easier on my eyes. So I went with a lot of like darker metals and like carbon fiber textures and stuff to make a really cool looking UI layout, and then went with the faction colors in order to make some color pop, and then the art and everything. I think it looks good. Everyone I've shown it to said they like it, so
I think it's a good addition to it. I think it's going to make it pop and stuff. And then the back of the cards are really awesome because they have the logo or something about the character that the cards are for on the back of the card. Yeah, every one of them's different. We might as well spoil one.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I just started saying Captain Rex.
Yeah, everybody knows that Captain Rex. That's my guy. So that was the first one that we did, and we put out kind of a prototype to begin with, just to get them out there. And everybody's like, "Oh, we need some of those. We need to give some of those away at our tournaments." So we passed them out, like he said. So he's updated this one, and I'm going to spoil the back of it because it's really cool. It's got the Jag dies or Jag dies, and then it's got a couple of them where they've marked off kills on it. So it looks like his helmet, and it's got our Dice Time logo on it, and it's going to be really cool. And so we've taken that a step further and done it with all the other cards. So when you look at the back of the card, you know what faction it is, you know who it is, just by looking at the back of the card. And you flip it over, and you've got a full art card, hand drawn, hand colored, all the information on there been put together. And he's got the whole I like to call it the box, because you basically put the picture in, and then you draw a box around it with all the stats. So they're really nice. They've turned out. I got to see the last one that we did today, and I did the art really quick, and he got the card done really, really quick. So it should be fun.
Like an hour. I told you once I
did the drawing in like 35 minutes.
Once I get going, I can like crank those cards out in like no time. The only reason the other one's going to take long is because in landscape, not portrait. Which, by the way, all these are we decided that like units are going to be in the classic landscape like style that the Legion cards are all in, but characters are special, so characters get to be portrait, like our Rex card that we did have. So these are all characters will be all vertical cards, and then normal units will be landscape. So we're handing out 4 characters.
Yeah. Yep.
We're handing out 4 characters this time. So to flip on the opposite end of Republic, we have the Separatists, who will be getting my favorite Separatist unit of all time, never to be surpassed.
I hate that guy.
Cad Bane.
I hate that guy. He deserves getting shot in the head. Oh, wait
Cad
a minute.
Bane, friend of the show. But yeah, so we have Cad. His card is very pretty looking. The back of his card is I tried to design it like a Jedi holocron. I think it turned out fairly nice.
It did turn out nice.
So we have him on the Rebels side. We have Sabine, which is the first card I actually.
We're just going to spoil them all. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. I said that. I thought
you said we were going to do 1 or 2 of them and be done.
No,
cool. Let's do it.
Everybody's got to know what to look forward to, Bob.
The Sabine art was a lot of fun. Ben had always wanted me to do him a Sabine, so I drew it up. Didn't tell him I had done it, and I told him I had something for him at one of the tournaments we were running, and I think I'd done Paul Watson's Yoda and Chewbacca, which you guys will get a chance to look at that. Maybe we're gonna do some logo work with the Wookiee that he likes that I drew for him. But the Sabine, I just wanted to do a Sabine that looked really cool and kind of nonchalant. It worked out really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm. I really love it. And then I got that card all up. I think on the back there's I did the Starbird and then like some of her like the racing stripes on her chest piece. So that looks good. I'm excited to see that in print. Finally today. So yeah, we've got Iden Versio for the Imperials. And I really love the art that you said you quick did it, but like it looks really good. So I was happy to like actually put it in a card, and I was just like, oh, this looks so good. So quickly did up all the stats and everything, and it's good to go.
That thing, I was so surprised it came out together because I didn't like the way it looked last night. I was looking at it at the store. I took it with me, and I was like, man, this just not right. And it just kind of clicked on the way home what was wrong. I fixed it today, shipped it off to Ben, and he said, is it done? And I said, I think so. And he goes, okay, it looks good. We're going to put it on a card. We had done one for the Imperials, but it was a core unit. And then so I got it all done, and he's like, oh, and let's do another commander. And I was like, okay, cool. And he goes, let's do Empire. And I'm like, man, all right. Well, I got a Vader picture, but I'm not real happy with it. So let me see what I can just pull out of my butt. And I just was looking through characters and I got a process that I do. You want me to do the process?
Yeah.
Of how I do my art cards. My art cards, I'll go through and I'll look at like live action because the lady that portrays Iden to me is just absolutely beautiful. Her name's Janine Jakar or something like that.
I think
I forget exactly, but sorry if I butchered your name. If you're listening to our podcast, yeah, right. I was looking through just live pictures of her in the uniform because when that game came out, she came out on stage and introduced it at the Battlefront game. And she had the whole outfit on, the helmet, the gun, everything.
Yeah.
So
that was so cool.
I found a cool picture of her just kind of standing there in the uniform, and I was like, okay, that could work. But then I was looking at some cosplayers because I try to draw from live. I don't like to copy. Let's not copy, but I don't like to make it look like somebody else's cartoon stuff because I just don't. I want my own original stuff. I don't want to go, oh, that looks like such and such. I saw that on the internet. Did you copy it? No, I didn't. So I try to take something live and put my own spin on it. And that's what I did with that. I'd found some cosplayer, and I don't remember her name. She just happened to be in a group of photos with the lady that actually portrays her and voices her on the video. Okay. And I said, I love the stance. The stance is really cool. It's laid back because usually when you see her, she's got the helmet and that stuff. And I didn't want to do another. Here she is with her helmet. She's a pilot. Yes, you can tell by the box. So I stuck the gun in one hand, give her kind of a just standing there looking at you look. And it turned out great. I was really, really stupid happy with it. And I'm like, okay, this will work. And then I noticed that one of the eyes didn't look right. And it just bugs me because I'm a perfectionist with my art. There's flaws in it. I see it. It just peeves me off. And I'll ruin a drawing trying to fix it. But this was a real easy fix. I got it done. And it wasn't so bad I couldn't fix it and do a little bit of overlay. And then I threw it at Ben and said, because yesterday I got the flight suit done, the whole body, and the head wasn't done. And I threw that at him yesterday, and he's like, oh, yeah, that looks really good. And I said, yeah, I got to get the head done. So I threw the whole thing at him today, and he's like, that looks really good. Is it done, or are we going to do something else? And I'm like, no, it's done. So he slapped it on the card and got it done. And then Sabine, like I said, I saw there's a girl that ran some down at Disney. I don't know if she worked for Disney, what her name is, or who she is or not. but I fell in love with the look of Sabine because it was when she had orange hair. This girl oranged her hair, and the artwork on her armor and everything's absolutely cool. The guns are perfect, and it's just really cool. So I found a picture of her, and I kind of went from there, but I kind of made the stance a little bit of, I got my guns out, I'm gonna shoot you, and she's just got kind of that mess with me, and I'm gonna blast you look. No dark saber, none of that pre-dark saber. Probably a mixture of the armor because I just went with what I felt was right, just off of a bunch of different pictures. So her armor might not be exactly to date, but a montage of like all that she did. But fell in love with it. Ben loved it when I brought it in there. Gave away a couple pieces of extra that I had for people, so we were good there. And like the Cad Bane, I hate Cad Bane. I have a guy that comes up from Indy just about every time.
You wouldn't know it with how well you drew him.
Yeah. Yeah, he turned out, just because I don't like somebody don't mean I can't draw him.
That's like one of the best works I've seen from you, honestly. Like, he looks so good.
Yeah, he's kind of did you put him sideways on the card? I can't remember. Because he's got kind of an angle to him on the original picture. I don't know if you straightened him up or not because I don't remember. But
oh no, I mean, like, I put him in there vertically. Like,
he's just got that gun going. You're done.
It looks so good. He's just like, you're done. You're done, son.
Yep. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do with my artwork. With CAD, of course, it's easy. I have to look at somebody that's drawn because there's a few of them. I think with that one, to get his face the way I wanted it to, they've got that one 6-inch, or not 6-inch. They got a 6-inch figure of him, but they've got that one like Hot Toys or something where he's in clone armor. And so I kind of took the face from that and one of the stances from that, and then I just put the hat on him because you got to have the hat. Mm-hmm. But shout out to Chris Hershey for not coming and playing CAD for me to kill. In 2 months. That's one reason I like to go run games, because Chris always comes up. He brings some sort of CAD crap. I don't know what you trash.
Listen, Chris is the embodiment of Cad Bane. He's elusive. You don't know when he's going to appear, but when he does, he's gunning for you.
Yeah, and then he dies horribly.
And then he escapes with his life.
And I shoot him. Yeah. With Rex, I've got so many pictures of Rex that I've just slapped and drawn and done a bunch of stuff with. So I just picked one that I had worked on, and I'm like, okay, that's what we're going to do for Rex. He's in our logo for the podcast. Mm-hmm. And then he was easy because, well, he's Rex, and of course he's the best piece in the game supposedly now because everybody wants to neuter him. Upcharge, yeah, let's make him 100 points and don't really do anything.
I love how salty you are on Rex, and not in the same way that everyone else is salty about Rex.
Everybody else is all wrong. You just don't get it. I guess I don't know, man. He's a god. Okay. Here's my take on Rex. You wanted to start, so we'll start.
All right, We're transitioning from alt art cards. I think we'll wrap that, and we're into units that need to get buffed and nerfed.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, so the Rex rant. Everybody thinks he needs neutered because he's so good, and everybody always wins if they play him not. And his Rex line and all that good stuff. And I get it. You guys can be haters. That's perfectly cool.
I'm just gonna go work on the back of the ship outside while you do this, because
okay.
I don't want to be seen standing next to you while you deliver this.
Will I rant?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I just want to say, I love Rex. I look like Rex. I've always loved Rex. I don't care. I see the hate and where he's good and stuff. But and I was corrected by Joe, who said that he has won a lot of tournaments. I don't keep up with the tournament circuit. I just don't, because I don't play. I judge. Judging is my thing. Like I said, I was real happy to get to play Paul, and I wasn't happy with Ben because I didn't give him a good game. But eventually. But my gig is judging, and so in my eyes, he's stinking perfect. So I don't know what everybody else hates him for. But
he's too perfect. That's why.
I love it too. I'm going to tell you the same thing that somebody told me one time when they were somebody at one of their stores was getting beat, and they were whining. You know what? Play better. There you go. Play better.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. That's my whole rant. He survived like everything, man. He ran around with Anakin Skywalker the whole time. He should be a badass. I mean, have you seen the one picture where they took Franco and they put a noose around his neck and they put him in clone armor, and the top of the caption was Anakin, it's a suicide mission, and the very thing at the bottom says, so first time with Anakin.
Yeah, so first time.
Yeah.
I love that meme.
It's great. It's just awesome. And I'm not a big Franco fan, but I mean, just the look on his face is like, are you an idiot? We'll survive. We always survive.
Yeah.
So Rex is a survivor, and I think everybody ought to just pay their dues and just say, hey, he's really good. And yeah, okay, give him 100 points, give him a range 3 weapon, and I'll shut up about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's some hot combination of things that just makes him a little too auto include right now, to where it almost makes it feel like you don't have another good viable option to fill the same thing that Rex does. And I think like the generic clone commander was a good step toward that. I really think they need to release someone like Cody or something to like give you another option to put in there. Rex, and it's not because Rex is a bad option, it's just he's the only one and he's getting like exploited in it because he's really strong, like you said. And it's like, it's a good thing for you, Bob, because Rex is literally your favorite Star Wars character. So I can understand where like you don't want him to come down from being the best. I understand that.
I'm really anxious to see what Chewbacca can bring.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm totally stoked to see what you can do with Chewbacca, because that, like you said, that clone commander is amazingly cool. He plays off of Rex. He's awesome, Rex. So it'll be fun to have other choices to put in there just to see, okay, so Rex is the greatest. Who's number 2? Okay, Chewbacca's number 2. He's the poo. So it'll be fun to see what you can do with him and that long gun. They previewed that long gunner today. Yep. I think that's going to change up a lot of people's thinking of what they're doing, because you're going to put a set of Wookiees in there just to get that long gunner in the back. But that's my rant on Rex. I love Rex. Rex is cool. Yeah, he needs fixed, because he's amazingly strong, very, very strong. And like you said, Cody. I'd love to see a Cody. I was kind of not disappointed, but I thought it was kind of a waste that they used Fox on the lats, because that really wasn't his place. I could see him, as a commander.
They can make him a commander later, and then he just can't be used as the lat pilot in the same list.
You can only use him once. And then what was it, Grizzle? They put Grizzle and the dog as a piece on it too, and I'm like, no, dude, you make those like a commander or something, and you give them ground pounder abilities, to be able to, I don't know, observation tokens or something. The dog can sniff everything out or whatever. But those the two I was kind of doing. But man, I'd love to see a Cody. I'd love to see a Fox. I would like to see an Apo that can pull clones into a Imperial army when they put out a dual faction Anakin. I would love to see an Apo that you could put in both. And just stupid stuff like that. But yeah, Rex is an all include, because that's all you have. He's 90 points, dude. You're never going to get anything better for 90 points. Nobody has anything that good for 90 points.
I agree.
And yeah, he needs bumped. He needs bumped to 100 at least. Well, I would say 100.
He's 105, because if you're not putting a jetpack on him, then
if you're not putting a jetpack on him,
disown you.
Yeah, well, you're dumb if he doesn't have a jetpack, even if you don't fire it off for 4 games. That last game that you win because you had a jetpack, you're like, oh, I'm glad I put that on there, and it was only 5 points.
I've literally won. Oh yeah, it was 5 points on Rex, so he's at 95. That was right.
Yeah, he's 95. I was wondering where you were getting at, but yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. The jetpack on Rex has literally saved me games when I've played Rex. I'm like, wow. Like I'll never forget one game that I played against my buddy who played General Grievous, and I literally only won because Rex had a jetpack and was able to get up on a piece of terrain that Grievous couldn't also get on top of because there wasn't enough space. And I was like, wow, that the jetpack literally saved Rex's life.
The last game I played before playing Paul, I played without him. And I lost so bad. Now, I didn't know what I was doing with Anakin at the time. And that's honestly what cost me those games, is I couldn't get my timing right with him, because I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't practice with him. Uh-huh. That was the episode that we talked about where you need to not play stuff you don't know. And I haven't played a game. I've played maybe 1 or 2 games since that, because like I say, I judge. So I like to play when I'm judging. That's my job. It's not to be playing and have to stop a game with somebody, even though when I do get to play, I usually give them the game in the list anyway, because I'm the judge. If we have a bye or something, but I'm taken away from their experience by having to stop and do judge calls. So I will not play if I'm judging. So it's just a self-imposed rule, because if I'm focused on my game and I get pulled away, I come back, I'm not focused on my game, or I'm not focused on giving those guys the rules that I should be.
Right.
So But the last time, man, I played with Rex. I did pretty good. I played Paul. Didn't win, but I came really close. And like with your game, like I said, I was so tired. I just didn't give you the game.
What was that?
But we're gonna get together, and first buy is gonna be yours, and we're gonna play. So
sounds good.
You got some of this stuff cleaned up in here. It looks nice, kind of.
Yeah.
Did you spray in Wookiee? Because I smell Wookiees. We
here. Hey guys.
I was gonna say they're out there. Hey, we got you a place to store your weapons over here. Got some bungee cord, so they don't fall out if we hit some turbulence, and we're ready to take you guys wherever you need to go, and drop you off at the back of the party. So I think that's about all I got for it. I'm gonna help these guys get loaded. And I think
hang on. What do we got now? I think there's a couple of units that we need to update still.
Oh yeah, Scott, I forgot we need to do that. You guys,
oh no, get them loaded up. It'll take them a minute. It's just we need to just quickly touch on a couple of units that I think need. I think I've needed an update for a little while. If I was going to pick like 2 things that I would love to see be more effective, and
Rex.
Believe it or not, they came
Rex,
out.
Right?
Yeah, it's Rex, of course. No, it to be more effective, Bob. That they need to be, and ironically, they came out in the same wave. I believe I would love to see updated Han Solo and Boba Fett. I think they're okay, but I think they need to be better than they currently are in the current game state.
You got to remember, those guys came out like way back. I'm
not saying it's bad, but I'm not saying it's bad like how they are. It's just I think in the current game state they don't keep up. I understand how it happened. I'm not trashing on anybody for it. It's just they need to keep up now.
Exactly, because they've fallen behind. But you got to remember how old those guys are. I remember setting a Gen Con, and I was running games for the guy I work for, and I knew that they had Han Solos and Commandos over at the thing, and I couldn't get away. I was so mad. And my buddy walks up, and he's like, guess what I got in the bag? And I said, they best be my Han Solo and my Commandos. and he put them on the table and kind of walked away, and sure enough, it was. And I was so excited because he was good. He's still good. He's still freaking awesome. He just needs to be brought into I think the problem is Cassian and K2 are the new Chewbacca and Han.
And they're just better in like every way.
Everything. I got my butt beat the other day. Well, up at the last game I played at a big tournament where I did really bad. I got killed. Richie is a really good player, and man, he just if it wasn't for Cassian, he would have lost. But he was pulling just stuff that I had never seen with that guy. And that should be Han. That shouldn't be Cassian. Cassian can be good, but he's got to be a step below Han.
Exactly. Han's iconic. Han and Chewie are literally so iconic. So many people know Han and Chewie, and I really think they need a better place on the table. And now, they do okay in skirmish. I'll say that.
Yeah, they're skirmish monsters.
I think they just need a bump of some kind to 800 to make it so to where they're actually being competitively brought again in 800.
And I took some notes
Paul,
from the other day.
Paul. So Bob, what do you think? I saw a Wookiee walk by and I thought of Paul. What do you think that Han and Chewie need in order to get them where they need to be?
Well, we were taking polls basically over on the Legion Academy chat that we have, kind of behind the scenes and everything. And the big thing that everybody was saying is Han needs steady.
I would love for Han to get steady.
If Han got steady, that's all he needs. Chewbacca's fine the way he is for helping him out and stuff.
Yeah. But
Han needs steady because it's a given. Move, shoot. You know, I mean, do it. That's the big thing. Everybody on here, I'm going through my notes that I said there, and that's the big thing everybody said. They said he needs steady, and that would make him perfect, and he wouldn't need really anything else. So that would be an easy fix and make a lot of people happy. You know, that if that would work, you'd probably see him on the table a lot more because he could. I don't know. He'd be almost a Rex. He could stand up with everybody, even with a range 2 gun.
Right.
You know, and I think that would make him more playable. I'd probably play him if I went back to playing Rebels if they did that.
He's got a nasty range 2 gun. It is so disgusting. It's like range 2 red, pierce 2. I believe it's surge crit. Like it's disgusting. It just picks 2 models up off the board most of the time and says goodbye. But I think the problem is that Han is so action hungry. Like he just doesn't have enough action economy to do what he needs to do most of the time. So I think if you gave him steady, and then maybe it's too much, but I think that would be good. I think that would be a good, like, nice round change that they could do to him to where he would be in the right place, because then you could aim, and then you could move and shoot. And I think honestly, I would love to see another reason I would love to see steady is for thematic reason, because then you could do the peekaboo that, like, people do with the snowtroopers, where they come around the corner and then shoot, and then their second action is move back. You could literally do the scene out of A New Hope with Han, where he can pop around the corner, see a bunch of stormtroopers, take a pot shot, and then run back.
Exactly.
I was like, I'd love to see Han get steady just so I could do that.
And that's what they were talking about on those guys. And that's pretty much what everybody's saying on here is basically, you give him steady and he's good. Put him back out on the table. He's gonna run the table and do really well for you.
The other thing that I would love to see that could also help update him a bit is do what they did with Luke and Vader, where give an operative version of Han. So if we got an operative Han Solo, like maybe young Han Solo, or if you just want to make him a New Hope Han Solo, that works too. But just make an operative Han, give him a different layout a bit. Give him 3 new command cards. That will update him hardcore, and he will be back on the table for sure. Maybe you have to tie steady to a command card. That would be fine with me.
Exactly, because he is a luck player. So he might not have the luck to do steady all the time, but when you need it, that luck's going to kick in because you play that command card and you use it and it's done, which I think is a really good idea. That's a great one. That's really good, Ben. I like that, especially with the 3. Yeah, Boba. We bet people were saying also that Boba needs steady, that they would really like to see it.
Maybe. He's already really fast though.
He is. So he's really good. That was just what people were saying.
Yeah.
I really don't play him. I've got him. Someone is looking. Let's see. Oh, they're saying Chewie. This is another piece of it that should add a surge to defense on Chewie.
Oh no, I don't think so.
No, not with 9 hit points. He doesn't need that. It's 9 hit points.
Yeah, he's got 9 health. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Back to Boba real quick here. Jay Muth, he chimed in here and said one-time rocket upgrade, no 3-pip needed. Kind of like the Mandalorians, how they've got that rocket card, but it's only one.
Oh, the jetpack, the rocket. I can see that. That would be cool. Like rework his rocket to do that.
And I understand why Han's got 6 hit points because he's got white armor, but he's got those 3 saves, which is cool. I think his armor or his hit points where they should be. Boba's only got 5. He's kind of like Rex. He's got all that armor and stuff, so they take that into the costing of it and the playability because that armor is going to soak up a bunch of stuff. So if you give him 6 points with Boba or Rex, they're going to get a little bit more powerful than they should be. White dice saves should have a little bit more padding. Yep. To where you should rely on your armor and not put yourself in stupid positions if you've got the armor. But if you do, that armor is going to absorb a lot more than those white dice are. So I understand why Rex is 5. Somebody on here was like, maybe bump him up to 6 health on Fett. No, I think Fett's good where he's at.
Yeah, I agree.
The armor, the mobility, especially if they give him steady, he doesn't need to be bumped up. Because he's gonna jump out, he's gonna shoot you, and he's gonna jump behind cover. There's his extra point. I think that steady is a really good ability.
Yeah.
You happen to go hunt somebody down, like I'll use Cad Bane. This is something Chris does. Chris will pop him out, shoot at me, and then jump behind the building. So I have to go up to the building, come around the corner, stick the gun in his face, and shoot him. So and I don't mind it because I've got the armor to do it, and he doesn't have the armor to cover it. So it's a give and take, and I understand that's a balance. That's a really good balance. Okay, he's quick. He can jump behind there and hide. I just have to do a little bit of work. And again, that's where jetpacks come in really nice on Rex because you just fly Rex over the building, looking down on him and go, "Hello there, dumb," and shoot him and stuff. So I think I think he's costed out. Okay, that rocket though. I think the rocket he should have that rocket.
Yeah. So here's my thought. My main thing with Boba Fett is like, I don't always feel like he's like the walking arsenal that he like the walking killing machine arsenal that he is sometimes. Sometimes I just feel like he just doesn't do enough. So he has sharpshooter 2, which is really good. You're never gonna have cover as long as Boba's shooting at you, which is really strong. I don't know. As opposed to steady, if I were gonna give him another keyword, I would probably give him tactical. So he would have an aim when he did his move. So like he could jetpack up somewhere and then aim shoot, which that would be cool. I don't know if I would give him steady necessarily, but the other major fix that would be really simple that I think that people would that would like take his 2-pip and his 3-pip, the jetpack and the flame projector, add permanent onto those command cards. So when you play that, you've got that weapon profile for the rest of the game.
I think that would be good. That or add it as equipment cards.
Yeah, well, the command cards already exist, so they've got to persist. I would just update them so that they were better and you were more incentivized to play them, because double bounty players aren't taking them. No. They're not that great. It's a one-time trick that you might have with Boba, but like the generic Imperial cards are honestly better to take. The only place that these cards are actually getting used right now is if you're playing double bounty with Callus, and then Boba's cards are all getting thrown in contingencies. Otherwise, they're one-trick ponies that don't even really pay off for the cost of taking them. So I think
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, if you take his 2 and 3
add-on cards,
give them permanent, so that after you play them, you've got that weapon profile for the rest of the game. It might be too much, but I think that's a good fix. I think it's
the rocket's not. The rocket's kind of single use. If you've ever watched them shoot the rocket's gone after one, and I think that's why if you do what they did with the Mandalorians, make it a one-time shot, but you get to choose when. You don't have to play a card and bank on your opponent doing something stupid or getting in a position to where you can use the rocket on them. But if you make the rocket a card, make the flamethrower permanent. The rocket, if somebody does make a dumb move and they stand out in the open, well, you can rocket them, but you get to choose the timing on it, not to where, he played the rocket card, I need to be really careful. With putting it on an equipment card like the Mandalorians do, you never know when he's going to pull it. So you have to be careful all the freaking time. But you see him throw that card down. Oh, he's going to shoot me with that rocket. I'm not going to give him a chance to. It's kind of like when you play Leia's card where she does bombardment. She's going to do it, or Veers, or even everybody else. Now that everybody has them, they're going to do it. And that they've got it in their hand, because you can look at them and usually tell because a lot of people know their opponents because they play them all the time. Oh, he's gonna have that in his hand. I better keep my guys safe until I get in range 3 or whatever, and stuff. So I think the with him being Boba Fett, you never know what he's going to do. So if you give him like an arsenal of cards, and maybe get a card that's flamethrower, but permanent on it when the first time he plays it or something.
Right.
But he can. It's not a disposable card. It's permanent. To where the rocket, you want to make it to where it's not permanent, but he can play that card anytime he wants to when he attacks. So it gives it that little bit of, is he going to do it this time? Is he not? Do I really want to run across this open spot here to get over there to the objective when he's going to hit me with that rocket? So that's the only reason I think rocket should be a one-time use card. That's
like the other Mandos have.
Like the other Mandos. But the flamethrower, I think, should be permanent. That should be, because he's used it a couple of times, and you always see him. They always, when they hit it, it sprays for 30 seconds half the time. So it's got a well or a gas.
And like you said, I like it better that it's like a constant threat and not a one turn get around it. Because
you got a big sign that says I'm going to use my rocket this time because I'm not going to waste the point.
Boba Fett doesn't announce when he's using his weapons. It's not like you're fighting Boba Fett and then he's like, all right, I'm going to use my flamethrower now, so don't let me get too close. And then
or the whip,
the most polite bounty hunter in the world would do that, but Boba Fett doesn't even talk half the time. So
yeah, I'm reading on here that they said that steady on Boba Fett would be an out of control OP, would literally give him a range 6 threat range.
That's
see that. Yeah, he doesn't need that. He's got enough crap.
It's a little much.
There, somebody was saying that they thought versatile on his weapons and possibly make his flamethrower.
I agree with that one. Yeah. I agree with that one. Versatile on his weapons would be really cool. So he's tied up in melee and he can still turn and like blast somebody with his EE3.
Yeah, I think
or wrist rocket or something. Just turn and blah blah blah. Yeah.
And are you good on this now? I think we've covered pretty much everything there. I just want to end this.
I think so.
What is that Wookiee doing? He keeps looking in the freaking door. Are you hungry? Do you need a porg? We didn't say that there was going to be food on this excursion. You need to bring your own food. Here. I threw him a piece of candy. So there. He'll be hyped up.
I was going to say, can't wait to give a Wookiee sugar and see how that goes. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah. I'm not cleaning the mess up, though. Or they're in charge of them extra.
Well, let's go see if the engine's even going to kick on long enough we got enough fuel to even get us to where we're going.
I hope so. Okay, here's what you need to do to make sure. I noticed this the other day when I was playing around with the engine. You got to turn the light off on the disco ball until you get it started, and it's ran for 29 seconds.
Okay. All right.
That's the trick to getting it. But I'm sure they're going to want the disco ball because it's going to look like stars, and it's going to remind them at home at night.
Yeah. All right.
We just need to keep them calm. They're all back there working themselves up into a rage. They've been like punching each other and playing slap bet. So they're all riled. So when we drop them off, I think we just like open the door, turn the shuttle
and we
sideways.
Just go.
We turn the shuttle sideways. They all fall out the door. We shut the door and we leave.
We leave. Yeah. I don't want to be anywhere near that.
We don't need that mess. I saw that mess firsthand with Paul. So no, thank you.
Alrighty, so well, thanks everybody for tuning in to Dice Time this month.
I appreciate you very much. You guys stay safe out there. Remember, they're starting to work on COVID, but it's still out there. We need to make sure that everybody stays safe. Still wash their hands really good, and get your shots if you believe in that. You know, I'm not saying everybody needs their shots, but get your shots. And just be good to each other and have a dice time.
Exactly. So it took the words out of my mouth. Everybody go out, have a dice time, and hopefully we can see you at Gen Con. We'd love to see you at Gen Con if we can. We'll get more details out on that as it develops. I'll keep the Facebook page updated with that. And yeah, until then, just hope everybody had a dice time this month and go out to make today even better. All right, I hear you.